It's your hump day.
Hump day, yeah!
High noon, Atlanta radio show for the entrepreneurs to the small business owners and nonprofit organizations hang out for their opportunity to be on the ledge. Now, let's welcome your host, Callender.
What's up, everybody? This is Callender, and thank you for another episode on The Ledge VIP. I appreciate you coming aboard. Before we get started here, I want to make sure that y'all know where I'm located. Please follow on IG, Facebook, and Twitter. That's On The Ledge VIP. You can also go to the website, which is www.ontheledge.vip. Now, let's get to my guest here. Mr. Orlando Nelson, how you doing, sir?
Great, Carl. Great, and thank you for having me.
I am glad that you came aboard today. Now, we got a good topic here today. You are one of the unknown, I should say, business saviors, because I'm serious, man, because a lot of people don't understand business credit.
Yes, sir.
And we're here to talk about that, and you're going to break down a lot of fine points on how to use business credit instead of your personal credit.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
But before we get started, man, let's talk about you a little bit and just a little bit on your background and how did you get to this point as far as the knowledge of business credit.
Oh, thank you. And again, thank you for inviting me for your show. My company is Info LLC. That stands for Investment Network Financial Offices. We've been around for about 28 years in the financial industry, basically a one-stop shop for all your financial needs. In the last, I'd say, 15 to 16 years, I focus my energies on learning as much as I can about corporate credit, business credit. And what I specialize in now is showing companies how they can separate their personal credit from their business and to build a business credit profile with Dun & Bradstreet, Business Equifax, and Business Experian. There's actually about 6 different business credit profiles out there, but those are the top 3. Dun & Bradstreet, who originated business credit back in 1848, Carl.
1848.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. This is nothing new. This is nothing I created. This is what the corporations and the wealthy have been using for over 100 years to build generational wealth, using their business credit when it comes to their business, and not like most business owners are using their personal credit to run and operate their business.
Well, see, nobody's telling us that.
Right.
You know, I don't even think I don't know if they teaching that in college, letting you know about business credit.
They're not. It's classified as one of the best kept secrets out there when it comes to business and finance, building a business credit profile, and that's because when, of course, back in 1848 and afterwards, it would cost generally $100,000, $200,000 to build a business credit profile. So, of course,
wow,
unless you was a corporation, unless you was wealthy, you could only afford to do it. On top of that, this information, your CPA is not going to know how to build a business credit profile.
Okay.
As a matter of fact, I have CPAs that are clients, and they send me their clients. Your banker is not going to know how to build a business credit profile. You can walk to your average branch all day long and talk to the most senior person in there, and they're not going to know how to build a business credit profile.
Why would they?
Exactly.
Yeah,
they wouldn't want you to use it anyway.
Right.
Exactly.
Right. That's like sending you off to somebody else.
And then finally, your attorney. So the typical places, and like you said, they don't teach this at your college level, your local universities or any of that. And unless you went to the Ivy League schools and took business and finance, they taught it there. But of course, when they're graduating, they're not rushing to tell you anything about it or Main Street or anybody else about it.
Okay. Well, let's talk about that then. Since we're talking about business credit, let's distinguish between your business credit versus the usage and the difference between your personal credit.
Right.
How does that work?
Okay. Most people, that's being generous, don't know that, first of all, business credit exists, even more so now. When I started 15, 16 years ago, it was only a few companies doing it. Right now, there's probably only about 17 of us legitimately in the country that specialize in building business credit. Now, I say legitimately. There's tons of client people online that are doing these Facebook things. And as of 2017, it was only up to 2017, it was only a few companies that if you Google would pop up. Mine was one under business credit. Now, you Google it, there's, pages of people out of the woodwork saying they do this type of work. Legitimately, today, there's probably about 17 companies that legitimately do it.
Right.
So, again, that added to the fact that the limited amount of information that was being out there, because there was a limited amount of companies doing it. But most people don't know that Dun & Bradstreet exists, and especially Business Equifax, Business Experian, and TransUnion has a business credit profile.
Now, see, no one knows. Like I said, if you're a Fortune 500, yes. But if you're a small business or if you're just getting started in business like a startup,
right,
you don't know this.
No. As a matter of fact, Business Equifax, Business Experian, and I'm a TransUnion, but nobody uses, so I'm not even going to really bring that into the subject. But Business Equifax, Business Experian has absolutely nothing to do with your personal credit, period. Zero. As a matter of fact, you can be on your personal credit a 300, which is the lowest you can get.
Right.
Or you can be in a Chapter 13 bankruptcy, currently still making payments in your bankruptcy, and you can still build credit with Business Equifax, Business Experian, and Dun & Bradstreet. They have absolutely nothing to do with each other.
All right. So Business Equifax and Business Experian. So TransUnion is out of that circle because they do something for your personal credit.
No, TransUnion is in there as well. It's just that most of the companies that accept business credit, they don't use TransUnion.
Okay, I got
There's other companies. Like I said, there's about 6 of them out there. The top 3 is Dun & Bradstreet, Business Equifax, and Business Experian. And out of all the, let's say, 17 companies that legitimately do this, do all 3. My company do all 3.
Okay.
And that's mainly, I can tell you, a Dun & Bradstreet number is recognized anywhere in the world. You can go and use that number.
Okay.
It's recognized. But they report business-to-business transactions, your suppliers, and your vendors.
Okay.
Okay, business, suppliers, and vendors. Now, Business Equifax and Business Experian can only be used in the United States. They report retail accounts, bank loans, and credit cards. Retail accounts, bank loans, and credit cards. So if you only have Dun & Bradstreet, which is the most well-known, none of your retail accounts, bank loans, or credit cards is going to show underneath that Dun & Bradstreet profile. That's why with our company, we do all 3.
Okay. Can I say that the Dun & Bradstreet, their number or your number with that company is like a social security number? Exactly
is what it is.
Okay.
Our apologies for anyone that may not know what a Dun & Bradstreet number is.
Okay.
Thanks for saying. A Dun & Bradstreet is like a social security number, but it's for your business. It has nothing to do with your EIN number, nothing to do with your tax ID number, and absolutely nothing to do with your personal Social Security number. This is a number that's designed for you to get loans, leases, lines of credit, equipment, or just regular things that you might need to run and operate your business and not always have to use your personal social in order to do it.
Okay.
It's the same amount of digits as your personal Social Security number, 3 in the front, 2 in the middle, 4 on the back. But it is especially for your business.
Okay. So in saying that, then is that the reason why most businesses, I don't want to say real, but prominent businesses use business credit? As far as, let's say, if you're incorporated, S Corp, C Corp, they know how to use that.
Well, a good point again. The major corporations are already doing this. Is nothing new. The millionaire and corporations are doing it. So I focus on to the small to mid-sized startup companies. Now, what's good about that is that when you're starting up, because you don't know, most business owners they feel, okay, if my personal credit is injured, I got to wait to get it right in order to be able to go into business. Or when they do go into business, because I don't know anything about business credit, then I'm using my personal credit to buy things and to run and operate my business because that's the only thing I know.
Right.
But once that they are enlightened to this situation, it's like night and day. You're not supposed to intermingle your personal finance with your business. If it's for your business, you should be using your business assets in order to do that. If it's for your personal, realistically, under your personal, after your home, maybe a car as a business owner, and a couple credit cards, what else do you need it for? You see?
Let's talk about that. Let's talk about that. So let's say I have a LLC, and I go to a bank. The bank, are they going to recognize business credit?
Good question. Now, the banks are in business to secure their loans. Okay?
Okay.
They are not jumping up and down to establish a loan for you 100% under the business. They want a personal guarantor or a credit partner for the business, mainly a personal guarantor, so that if in the event that you do not successfully complete the loan, then they can come and attach your personal assets or whatever in order to take care of that. Okay. So they're not going to be jumping up telling you, okay, let's do it under the business 100%, so that if you don't pay, there's no recourse for them. Okay. So they're not in the rush to even educate their employees on those levels anything about business credit because realistically, now they will accept business credit. But when you go to them, it's got to be a thorough profile, mature profile, in order for them to use it 100% without them asking you to be a personal guarantor on it. And that's what I focus on. I focus on building that profile so strong, it makes it very difficult for them to say no.
Right.
You see.
Okay.
And so that's a very good question. That's why I work with people all the time and say, I have business credit, but the bank's still asking for your personal. Right. Because, again, they want to secure that loan.
Right. So that if you're not using your personal, they're not really enthusiastic, and that's not helping the bank.
Well, it's helping the bank, but in the event that you don't keep your responsibilities, then it's majorly difficult to not at all being able to attach other assets on the personal side to satisfy that loan.
Got it.
And you can build business credit for any entity. I meant to say earlier, S Corp, nonprofit organization, LLC, LLP, it doesn't matter what the entity is, you can build business credit for, including churches.
Okay. So if they already have an established business, but they don't have any type of business credit, they can start doing that.
Yes. You can start at any time.
At any time.
You can be in business yesterday, became a legal business yesterday. When I mean by legal business, that means in compliance with all state laws, federal laws, and lending institutions.
Okay.
If you don't mind, I'll talk a little bit about that.
Yeah.
Before you can even build a business credit profile, that area has to be complete. A lot of companies will have the federal and state together, but where most businesses are turned down for loans and equipment and whatnot because they're not prepared when they went in and asked for the money.
Okay.
And a lot of times that is in the compliance arena. They have the state and federal, but they don't have the lending institution part. Now, registering as a Secretary of State, I always recommend LLC because that's the best way to sever that relationship between your personal and the business.
Right.
S Corp LLC